Let's talk about Cody Rhodes. In my humble opinion, I believe Cody Rhodes is super overrated and one of the most, if not the top three most overrated WWE superstars or main event superstars of all time. Let's start off with his promos. For one, his promos all sound the same. They're constantly, it sounds like a broken record, basically always constantly the same. If you heard one, you've heard them all. There's nothing really that sticks out. And he's always tearing up, literally crying, mentioning his father, Dusty Rhodes, who himself, which maybe I'll make another video, is overrated as a talent and as a booker. Sure, has he had great moments historically over the wrestling history in the last 100 years, let's say in North America? Yes, of course. But Dusty Rhodes himself is overrated. But going back to Cody Rhodes, if you heard one promo, you've heard them all. For me personally, there's nothing that really sticks out crazily. For, let's say, 500 promos he's done, maybe 5 of them stick out that you could say, okay, are memorable, but they're not top 10, top 25 even memorable promos of all time when speaking about wrestling in general within WWE. He's always crying, literally crying. How many promos have I seen him where he's tearing up, crying? And it doesn't have to be him bringing up Dusty Rhodes. It's him just crying and tearing up, basically trying to gain some kind of sympathy from the crowd. His promos are repetitive, like I said. He's always praising the opponent, basically buttering him up. And, it goes along these lines. Oh, I respect you. I love you. The memories we have with each other, but I'm better than you. I'm the champion. I put my heart on the line. I put my body on the line. It's like, bro, what does that add to your character? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to say? It sounds all the same. It sounds just like a bunch of big words. Yeah, he adds big words in there too. A bunch of words together added with, on top of that, added big words where he tries to act so sophisticated or intelligent. And it's not big words, above average words. It's like these words that it's like you have to go into the dictionary to try to understand. It's like, what are you doing, buddy? You sound like it's corny. Then, as an in-ring competitor, he's average, if not above average. Sure, okay, maybe above average, but that's about it. He's not special. It's nothing particular. It's generic. His matches, the way he wrestles, back in the day, wrestlers, they told stories through the wrestling match. The wrestling match, the move spoke. Basically, it got the crowd going in one direction or the other, depending on the storyline and so on. And there's been moments where Cody does that, sure, but overall, I'm talking in a general way, he's an average, above average wrestler, if that. The neck tattoo he has is super corny as well. Makes him look like, oh my goodness, what were you thinking, bro? Were you drinking one night? Were you on one night and you just got it? Because it's not like he has tattoos. Yeah, sure, he has one or two other tattoos aside from the neck tattoo, but it comes across as if it's like, oh, I got to do something that makes me stick out than the other recent main eventers or current main eventers in WWE, so I'll get this. But it's like, bro, that's not it, bro. It looks so corny. It makes you look goofy, and it's just ridiculous. Imagine The Undertaker having his signature logo on his neck, or The Rock having the Brahma Bull on his neck, or the Hogan having Hulkamania on his neck. It's just ridiculous. It makes you look like a corporate shill, and specifically your own personal corporate shill, because that logo represents you in the eyes of WWE as a corporation. He's not an actual draw. He wasn't a draw in AEW, and he's not a draw in WWE. Especially when it comes to the casual fan, nobody cares about him. The actual stans within WWE, the hardcore WWE fans are turning on him, just like the AEW fans did. And the AEW fans turned on him super quick compared to how the WWE stans are. He's not a draw. He wasn't in AEW, and he's not in WWE. For all the WrestleMania main events he's been a part of, he always had to have some bigger attraction associated with the main event, interfering in the main event, or basically bring in more eyes to that storyline, to that match. And it's sad, and it shows. He's not a draw. His intro, his entrance song is super corny. It's pathetic and it's very, very neckbeardish. You can tell it's specifically made for the, I am part of the internet wrestling community, but it's that specific neckbeard demographic of that community where it's very, the tempo, the rhythm of it, the vocals, everything about it. You can tell it's specifically catered to them, and it just sounds so corny. The lyrics, the beginning of it, the singing and everything is just like, come on, man. It does a good job for what it does, but overall it's a flash in the pan. It's basically, it sounds so generic at the same time. It's not something very distinct and unique. You've heard it many times before, or it's basically made on a template. That's how it sounds like to me. Always has to bring up his father, Dusty Rhodes, in one way or another. Now, he's stopped doing that as much as he did before. And in turn, when he does bring up Dusty Rhodes or name drop some other wrestlers or icons, legends specifically, he'd always tear up, cry, shed a tear. And it's like, man, you really need to bring up these dudes or your father specifically to kind of rub off their legacy onto yours. And in turn, it shows that you really don't carry any weight. Your name as a wrestler doesn't carry any weight in today's wrestling industry. His facial reactions are repetitive. They look funny, like he looks like a fool. It's over the top, and not in the sense of, back in the day, let's say 90s, early 2000s of wrestling, even 80s, of course, where, wrestling was over the top, and, but it made sense in that context, in the wrestling sphere. I'm talking about like C-movie kind of acting where his facial expressions are just so over the top. It makes everything look ridiculous. It makes him look ridiculous. And when non-wrestling fans see that, it's embarrassing, and they make fun of wrestling fans. And then as a wrestling fan, it's hard to defend that kind of stuff. He comes across so fake and phony. His whole personality, everything about him is just so finely tuned in the sense of, okay, what will work if I try? What kind of things have worked for other wrestlers? And he takes that from, let's say John Cena, this worked for John Cena. He'll take that and basically take it to a max level. And at that point, it looks ridiculous. And of course, he adds it to his attributes, his attire, his mannerisms, his vocabulary or whatever. And then when you add all these things that are maxed out, it just makes him look so fake and phony. The suits he wears often look ridiculous. It's like, bro, you don't look sharp. You literally look like you're wearing a modern clown suit. A clown, how a clown dresses, but it's like in a business suit, in a suit itself. But it literally looks like clown suits half the time. His whole demeanor, everything about him just comes across basically corporately engineered, as if a corporation like WWE themselves literally engineered and put it together in some kind of lab. He just comes across straight lab grown, and nothing about him is genuine at all. And I don't even know how any wrestling fans have ever, I've seen this about him from the get-go, let alone now, how they ever even say the things they say about him. Oh, he's great, he's the best, he's one of the best, he's cool, he's this or that. I've seen it from the get-go, let alone as time has went on, it's even worse, in my opinion. And it's goes back to that whole, I'll simply say it like this. When the jungle does not have a lion, so the main eventers of today aren't, or people at that main event level aren't high caliber, and, the jungle doesn't have any lions, you're going to make the hyenas, the world heavyweight champions, or your main eventers. Basically, if what I take as a credible way to make or say that somebody is a, top 10, top 20, top 50 wrestler of all time is, will this person work in this era of wrestling or that era of wrestling? Because if you put Cody Rhodes, for example, in the ruthless aggression era, he wouldn't fly. If you put him in the golden age of wrestling, the 80s, he wouldn't fly. If you put him in, let's say, the attitude era, he wouldn't fly. It wouldn't stick. People would not take him serious. That's that whole thing that I just said. Basically, when the jungle doesn't have any lions, you make the hyenas kings. He's just super overrated. I can't stand him. Phony dude. That's at least my personal perspective.